Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's that time again. It's been a little over a month since the last time we talked, but if you keep up with Instagram, if you keep up with me personally, you would know. Been back and forth doing a couple of things. I got a Great American Teaching coming up. Actually, first started my first press kit, letter of endorsement. Got a lot of things that been going on, but nevertheless, that's no excuse. The message always has to be put across. But I feel like the conversation we're about to have, the fact that people don't do this, is the big reason why many people are not only in the same position as they were years ago, but they may be in the same position as many people around them. And I made videos like that too. Where you're only going to get as far as the company you keep. But enough of that. Let's get into it. Let me tell you guys what it's about. Again, I urge any and everyone to try this. Try this. This fast, if you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. Try this out. What we're going to speak about today is unlearning and relearning. To me, it's an underlying huge concept, but it's not talked about enough. It's not put forth in front of us enough. It's just not practiced enough. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. That's a better word, for lack of better terms. But anyway, unlearn and relearn. Like I said, I'm 26 myself. You may be 18, you may be 30, you may be 40, you may be 50. Understand, there's a sponge stage in life. Maybe more than one, depending on who you're asking. But all of us receive principles, morals, beliefs, information, a ton of it, from childhood to adulthood, which is what happens to mold us in our adult lives. Some of us feel as though we got to have coffee in the morning. Some of us feel as though we just have to attend church on Easter. All of us have principles and beliefs that have been bestowed upon us by other people. I'm not saying all of them solely have, some things, and kudos to those people who actually research the things that they're actually doing and why they're doing it. That is a huge question we don't ask. WHY. Why? Remember that question and that word the whole time while you're watching this video, because that's what this is about. But anyway, unlearn and relearn. I'm going to give you my personal opinion, as I always do, in my perspective. Much of the information that you've been given by supposed reliable sources, whether it be mom, grandma, uncle, teacher, instructor, best friend, godmom, whoever it may be, a lot of the information you have been given is regurgitated information. The person that gave it to you did not fact check it. They took absolutely no time out to research these things. And I don't even mean Google. I mean anything, to go pick up a book, to ask another supposed reliable source, to get a poll. They didn't do anything. They took this information that was given to them by another individual, and ran it across you. And what I'm seeing more and more in my generation and past ones is that we don't take time to research anything. We pass this information on to our children, and it becomes a recurring cycle, and they do the same, and they'll continue to do the same. Just a great example. I know a lot of women who I've asked who may have had a child with a partner. And I asked a simple question: if you and that man are to, fall on bad terms, and everything breaks off at this very moment, where does that child go? And 10 times out of 10, the mother jumps back, right back. Oh, my baby goes with me. And then I ask that simple question that people hate to ask, or people just, I don't know if they hate it, they just decide not to, but why? Why as an equal donor? Because you can't create a baby on your own. As a man and a woman, I believe you're equal partners in this whole equation. How as an equal partner do you're giving the rights to the child, and you demand on call where they go? How did you inherit that privilege? And most women have no answer. They simply tell me things like, because that's just how it goes, or that's the way it's supposed to be, or that's just what you're supposed to do. The child should go with the mom. And again, to any woman that may be watching a video that feels like that, any man that may have dealt with that situation, or even a man that may feel the child should just go with him, I urge you to ask yourself why. Who taught you that nonsense? Who taught you that the woman's word was law? Who taught you that the man's word was law? And how reliable are those resources that gave you that information? I'm going to give you another great example. I mean, it's a ton of them. From education to government to parenthood to drug use to religion. I'm not gonna go in real heavy on this one because it's a touchy subject, which I don't mind going in. I love the comments and I love a great healthy debate. But religion, we have somewhere around 4,900 different gods that are praised on this great green earth. I come from a Christian family myself. I will tell you now, I'm not a big religious man. I'm more of a spiritual man. I've actually shunned Christianity as recent as well. But I'm going to ask you, for the people who do believe in those things, or the people who are heavily into those things, what makes your God greater than the next one? What makes your religion more fulfilling, or more pack more substance, or what just makes your beliefs and your morals and principles righteous rather than the other 4,900 gods that are running around the world? Did you ever stop to ask your pastor? Did you ever stop to ask your pastor why? Did you ever stop to ask your pastor why there are an abundance of religions? Why aren't we, since we're our brothers and sisters, why aren't we all under that watchful eye of one God? Why do we worship different people? How do we just condemn people to hell for mistakes? But the common man can go shoot up a school, and if he consistently begs for repentance, he may be forgiven one day, because our God is supposedly a forgiving God. If God wakes us up every day, it's a great question, and I love asking this one to a lot of people who who live by the book. I love asking this question, and I will let you know on record I've yet to get an answer. But anyway, if God is responsible for waking me up every day, what happens when He wakes me up at 5:59? And the first thought on my mind at 5:59 a.m. is intimacy. So I roll over to this woman that I'm not married to, and I begin to partake in steps that are going to lead to fornication. My question to the people, again, not to convert. I'm only trying to start the conversation. But my question to the people is, if I woke up by God at 5:59 and at 6 a.m. I'm seeking intimacy with the woman I'm not married to, did my wake-up call get intercepted by Satan? Did God, did He begin to raise me and Satan jumped in and grabbed me? Did Satan wake me up? Did Satan wake me up to purposely fornicate? It's a ton of questions. It's a ton of whys. And again, I'm just giving an example. And again, it goes back to my original point. Unlearn and relearn. There are countless things we've been taught. When we wake up, some people like coffee. Some people feel like you have to have coffee. People like myself feel like you should go out and enjoy nature, get a good look at the sun, take a nature walk, be at one with organic things. I'm going to give you another great example. The government and even school, they have this great thing called the war on drugs. And for some reason, drugs have been given a bad rap. But those same classes that teach you crack was whack and say nope to dope, I don't know what they're teaching now, but I know in my curriculum, they never taught me the harmful side effects of aspirin. They never taught me about bloating. They never taught me about it hardening my liver. They never taught me about the many harmful and sometimes fatal side effects that come from aspirin. They never taught me that there's probably been one reported death from marijuana in the past couple of years. And I believe that one reported death was because the person actually consumed it rather than, smoked it or, any other way. But nevertheless, he consumed it and he happened to choke to death on that. They never taught me that. But they also never took the time to teach me how many lives aspirin takes and how many people pass yearly from over-the-counter drugs. And again, on that subject alone, I can go in a ton. I have personal experience with a lot of the things that they prohibited or they taught us weren't good. But I'm gonna give you another great example. And I don't know, you may be in another state, but I know in the state I come from, Florida. As a child, they had I can't remember the name exact, but they went by the name of Hernandez. It was a dentist's office. They would send a guy dressed in an actual tooth. He would come around with toothbrushes, and they would urge us to brush our teeth 3 times a day, every day. How important it was to keep those teeth pearly white, and to keep those gums strong, and to fight gingivitis, and use this and use that, blah blah blah. One of the great things they didn't teach me, which I wish they would have taught me, because I probably would have been mentally might have been a lot stronger these days. They never taught me the side effects and the harmful things that come behind using fluoride. Check my logic. Alcohol is a depressant. It does absolutely nothing for you that's positive. It is a depressant. Cigarettes do absolutely nothing for the brain, for the body. It's not even a depressant. To me, if you ask me my personal opinion, it's just garbage. You're killing your lungs, you're hurting yourself. There are several man-made chemicals that they put within cigarettes that harm us. Do you understand once you're 18 and 21, you can purchase these things with no limit. You can go in, if you got $1 million, you can buy the bar out. If you got $1 million, you can go to the smoke shop and buy every cigarette and cigar in the building. Do you understand for an ounce of marijuana, they will put you in jail? For a kilo of cocaine, they're willing to give you 30 years. This goes back to unlearn and relearn. Understand, a lot of the principles, a lot of the morals, a lot of the right and wrongs we were taught, these things are nonsense. Again, this is regurgitated information that's been given and passed down. Your mom and your dad that may urge you, say no to drugs, they themselves may have never experienced it. Or if they did, they may have been excessive. They may have never experienced it in moderation. Understand, I get it to a point. Drugs can be harmful. Of course they can when it comes to marijuana, when it comes to the opiate family. Again, and I speak from a place of experience. I'm not talking about something I just wrote about. I'm not talking about something I read or something I saw on YouTube. I'm speaking from a place of experience. I've dibbled and dabbed with several opiates. And I'm a very humble man, but I'm here to tell you I'm one of the most wisest 26-year-olds that I've run across myself. I'm a full-time father. Very successful businessman, if you ask me in my opinion. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm definitely headed there in 4 years. I haven't punched the clock yet. I left college with 4 credits. I left high school with a 2.23 GPA. So I'm here to tell you, a lot of the things that they've told you is pure nonsense. It's pure lies. It's just pure propaganda. And again, like I said, it's so many subject matters that I can touch on within the unlearn and relearn system. But that's just a few of them. Religion, education. We've been taught that we need to get these couple of pieces of papers that say we're smart to live a fruitful life. I have absolutely none of them. I barely got the diploma. I made it out. But I've surpassed many of those same teachers that told me I was not going to make it. It's a number of things. Parenthood, gender roles. It's 2015. A woman can be as strong as a man. Understand, and this is one of the key things I want you to understand. 2 things that have taken place hundreds of years ago that are still haunting us this very day. A big part of slavery many, many years ago was simply working to get your freedom. You put in tons of work. They're going to work you till you 50, 60 years old, to your old vessel, and then they're going to let you go. A lot of times we got land, a lot of times we got money, a lot of times we just simply got our freedom. Do you understand that the common workplace that we're in today is no different? Except for the fact they're going to offer you benefits, and I believe those are mandated by the government. But the plan is still the same. I'm going to work you till you're old and gray. You'll then get your freedom. But in the meantime, I'm going to dictate your Monday through Friday. I'm going to dictate how you eat. I'm going to dictate how you feed your family. I'm going to dictate your entire livelihood. Again, unlearn and relearn. This is the point I'm making. If you continue to follow the principles, the blueprint, and the footsteps of your ancestors that came hundreds of years before you, how do you expect to get any further in life? There is no way that you're going to follow Papa John's blueprint from 1850 and think you're going to get somewhere more than common in 2015. It's just not going to happen. Unlearn and relearn. Just because it was given to you by your mom, your dad, your grandfather, whoever it may be, blood does not make you perfect. You're flawed. You're human. Fact check. Ask these people why. Question everything that is going on around you. Again, I can go on and on. When it comes to the government, it's a fraternity. It's a brotherhood. Don't think for one moment that Obama doesn't talk to his running mate behind closed doors. Or that he's just down with the people because of the things he's yelling on a podium. Man, you know what? I don't want to keep you guys forever. I think you got my point. Understand. This is the only point I want to make about unlearning and relearning, because there's so many subject matters within that. I can go on drug use for forever. And religion, parenthood, education. The educational system is so outdated. How many millionaires did you go to school with? How many Nobel Peace Prize winners did you go to school with? Probably none, right? It's time to scratch your head and realize that the system is outdated, and some of that nonsense that they told you was mandatory is not really needed, and it's not really a necessity in your life because it hasn't helped you progress anywhere. You're still struggling. You're still trying to figure it out. You got all these doctorates. You got all this good paperwork, and you made principals honor roll your whole life. It's some things you can't teach. There's some things those textbooks don't have. Again, don't be afraid to ask why. Don't be afraid to question your TA, your instructor, your teacher, the AP, your mom, your dad, whoever it may be. You are not going to you're not going to progress today using yesterday's tricks. Unlearn, relearn. Do not be afraid. There's so many subject matters we could touch on. There's so many things in your personal life that may be different from mine that you need to unlearn and relearn. Look at your mom. Look at your dad. Look at your grandparents, your great-grandparents. Go deep back. Where did their life halt at? At what point did they stop? What things did they achieve in their lifetime? What was their success level? Take that. Be logical and take that into consideration for a second. I gotta apologize about my phone. It's blowing up there. I don't know why. But anyway, take those things into consideration and ask yourself, where are you really headed? If you're following their blueprint and their principles, where are you as an individual that's living your life that's going to go in that box by yourself? Where are you headed? I want to let y'all know I'm going to break Unlearn and Relearn down into many subject matters. The next one coming up is going to be logic, because a lot of you have no idea why the hell you do what you do. You just do it. Simply said, ignorance is bliss. People love to go with the flow. Life is so simple when you're going with the flow. Life gets a little more difficult. Life gets a little more edgy when you start questioning things. You start seeking purpose. And you start asking yourself, why am I doing this? So that's what we're going to jump into next. This was just the appetizer, just to warm you up, to let you know what's coming. But anyway, y'all, stay tuned. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And I'm going to see you guys next time.